and welcome, Phoenix Physics students. This is Robert Austin, your facilitator for this course. And I've created this brief introductory video to help you get started on the right foot with the course. So the first thing you probably want to do is introduce yourself to me and your classmates. You can do that right here. This is perfectly optional. You don't have to say anything if you don't want to, but I encourage you to tell me as much as you feel comfortable telling everyone about. It's not graded. These are some suggestions of things to say, but I would encourage you to say something about what you want to do with your Phoenix education. Okay. What's the reason for you studying at the University of Phoenix? What are your career aspirations? Again, you don't have to do this, but if you choose to, you can say as much or as little as you like, and it's not graded. Okay, once you've done that and gotten that out of the way, you probably want to start with the lesson. So you want to begin with the reading. Let's go to content here. We're in week 1, so expand that. Go down here to learning activities. Open that up. There's a link to your textbook. So just click on that. It'll take you to chapter 1. Read that material. The next thing you would do then is hopefully before Thursday. Okay, it says due Thursday, so I can let this slide a little bit, but it's very helpful to me if you post by Thursday. This is an interactive overview. Let me click on it and open it up. And also, if you have any trouble finding like this button here, it might be due to the fact that you're using a browser that's not compatible with Blackboard. So I strongly encourage you to use Chrome. I know for a fact that in the recent past anyway, Microsoft Edge has not worked well with Blackboard, so I don't encourage you to use Edge. I don't know about Firefox or some other browsers. They might work fine, but I know for sure Chrome works. So, just come here and read this and let me know how you feel about the current week. Do you feel confident about how you're doing, or do you feel insecure? Tell me here. If you feel confident, that's probably enough. I don't need to know more. You're doing fine. You feel okay. But if you're not confident, you might explain why down here. Okay. And see, if I see that by Thursday, I can give you perhaps some encouraging words or some helpful advice to alleviate some of your concerns. But anyway, once you've done that, and it only takes about a minute, submit it. If you don't submit it, I won't see it and I can't grade it. Okay. And it'll send you a confirmation that you've done it. Okay. Enough for that. The next thing is the discussion. So we can look at it here in week 1 or go to discussions. Let's do it here in the module. Okay, week 1 discussion, atoms in motion. Now, again, this is important, especially with this assignment. Note, it's due Thursday. You're supposed to respond to the discussion topic by Thursday. That's Phoenix time, midnight Phoenix time on Thursday. The date of that is, let me look at the calendar, will correspond to January 12th. Okay, it kind of depends on your time zone. If you look here, you see that it says, the end of the week, according to this, is January 17th at 2 a.m. Well, that's my time. That's on Eastern time. I'm on the Eastern time zone. That corresponds to midnight Phoenix time on January 16th. So just understand that. It's going to just go by these times, but there's a multi-part response to this. So the first part is due Thursday, and then the rest is due by next Monday. Here's the explanation. Again, note, it says due Thursday. This is the biggest part of your discussion assignment. Think about these questions in relation to what you've read this week, and maybe you started some other assignment. So respond to that. And then by Monday, you're asked to post 2 replies to your classmates' responses. And you can consider me a classmate. So if you see a response from me that you want to reply to, go right ahead. These replies can be short. 75 words is usually a good rule of thumb, but make sure you're substantive. Um, a substantive reply. Don't just say, "Oh, I agree with you," or "What you said is cool," or something like that. Explain why you agree or why you disagree. Also, I kind of skipped over this, but your initial response that's due Thursday, that's has to have at least 175 words. If you come up short, that's not the end of the world, but I will deduct a few points for that. But I'll deduct even more if you're late. So the most important thing is to post something by Thursday and your 2 replies by the following Monday. Okay. Said enough for that. Okay. In terms of points, the most important assignment is the simulation assignment. So this asks you to do a kind of a virtual experiment using simulation. So click on it. You should see a link here. Again, remember, it's probably best to use Chrome. But anyway, go ahead and view the assessment. There's 2 links to open up here. One is the assessment guide or the assignment guide. It's the instructions for doing the assignment. So open that up. If you click on that link, it's going to download a Word document. So go to your downloads folder and then open that Word document. And then click on this link and it'll open up a tab with a simulation. The assignment guide will tell you what to do with the simulation. And then you're supposed to write an essay between 260 and 350 words. It's often hard to get everything within 350 words. You can go over if you feel you need to. That's okay. I won't penalize you for that. Answer these questions here. But the most important, you can even ignore this. I really encourage you to go to the rubric over here. So open up the rubric and look what it's asking for. So first, I want you to describe what you did in the simulation. So give me a summary of what you did. It doesn't have to be very lengthy, but I want to know some details about how you ran the simulation. Then it says describe what you observed. So tell me what you observed and possibly give me some numbers. If it tells you to make a note of what the temperature is, tell me what the temperature is. Things like that, right? What's the pressure? It asks for additional questions about atomic motion. So ask some questions should pop into your mind as you do the simulation. At least one question. Put that in your essay. And it's good to have, I do encourage you also, just to make it simpler to grade, for each one of these items in the rubric, uh, make it a separate little paragraph. I mean, the paragraph could even be one sentence, but just separate them so I can see this. Try to do it in order here. All right. It makes it real easy for me to grade. I'm not going to force you to do it that way, but I encourage you to. Also, if you want to do it in Word, go ahead and type it in Word, but then copy the text from Word and just paste it in here. Don't attach a Word document. All right. All right. So where was I? Yeah, questions. Then it says discuss 2 specific ideas from the reading. So this week is chapter 1. By this time, you should have read chapter 1. And pick out 2 ideas that are related to what you observed in the simulation and discuss those 2 ideas, okay, from your reading assignment. Discuss what the simulation taught you about atomic motion. Say something about that, okay? We should have something, watching the simulation, working with the simulation should clarify some issues you might have about understanding uh, what atomic motion is or what it does. Okay, so write something about that. Use of reference. You should list your references at the end of your essay. Okay, at the very minimum, you should have one reference, and that's a reference to your textbook by Feynman. So, give me. I'm not too concerned about the format. I want to know, which edition it is, who's the author, what's the title of the book. In our case, it's Six Easy Pieces by Richard Feynman, and give the date and the publisher, that kind of thing, like you do in a real paper. Okay, if you have any additional references, put those in there as well. And then mechanics, this does not count much. It's only 2% of your total grade, but I do care about spelling and grammar. If it's really bad, I'll deduct some points. Okay, so proofread it to yourself. Try to catch misspellings and punctuation errors. And use of language, I usually kind of just give everybody 100%, unless the essay is so difficult to read that I'm tearing out what little hair I have left. If I find it very hard to read what you've written, I'll probably deduct some points. But usually I just leave this alone, give you 100%. Okay, that's that. Make sure that once you've entered your essay, you've submitted it. Okay. It has to be submitted or I won't read it. If you save it and close it, then it won't be available to me until you've submitted it. All right. Make sure you get that in by this coming Monday, midnight Phoenix time. If you have any questions about the course, of course you can send me messages. Right there is a link to messages. You can send me a message. Otherwise, you can use course questions. So you can post your question there, and I or one of your fellow classmates can answer your question. And one last thing, be on the lookout. In a couple days, I'll probably post a link down here under learning activities about a live meeting. I'm planning to have it Friday evening. It's optional. If you can make it, great. If you can't, that's all right. I will record it. But I encourage you, if you have any questions, please attend the meeting. You can ask me questions and I can give you a response in real time. And it's much better for me if I have an audience. So if you can, try to attend that meeting. So again, be on the lookout for it. By Wednesday, I should have posted a link to that meeting, which will most likely be Friday evening, this coming Friday evening. That's all for now, and otherwise, I'll see you in class.